Yes, and I do want to offer the public a chance to comment on the consent calendar. Sometimes I'm a little bit too,
Still nobody on?
little too quick.
Oh, still nobody tuned in. Okay.
Yeah, I
great.
just want to make sure though. And Joe, that was it on the consent calendar, right? 3A
Yep,
and 3B?
that's it. I moved some of it to the regular agenda.
Okay, so item 4 is approve a purchase order with Solomon Electric for Williams Drive lighting upgrades in the not to exceed amount of $28,236 for purchase and installation of LED lighting.
Move to approve.
Any public comment on item 4?
Still nobody tuned in. Cool.
Poll the vote, please.
Director Starkey? Yes. Director Short?
Yes.
Director Roberts? Yes. Chairman Altman?
Yes. Okay, item 5 is approve a purchase order with Cummings Arcata in the amount of $26,276 for integrated emergency generator for RCTA's Williams Drive facility.
We've been talking about this for a while.
We
so
have
I
been.
Move to approve that.
Is there any public comment for the generator item? Poll the vote, please.
Director Roberts? Yes. Director Starkey? Yes. Director Short?
Yes.
Chairman Altman?
Yes. Okay, item 6 is approve a purchase order with Creative Bus Sales in the amount of $75,000 for a replacement accessible minivan for RCTA's dial-a-ride fleet.
Will you tell me a little bit more about that, Joe?
Absolutely, thank you. This item is, well, if I'd have known we were going to have a meeting on January 3rd, I probably could have held it for that. But mainly, this item is, we've had this grant for a couple of years, and we were trying to get Caltrans to change it to allow us to purchase a ZEB, so a zero emissions van, because there are quite a few in the small vehicle category starting to become available. But anyway, Caltrans in their wisdom said no. Ultimately, and said hurry up and you know, buy the gas van like we told you to. So here we are, and the good news is most of the vehicles we use are like backlogged a couple of years in production due to global chip issues, and well, you know more about it than I do probably. But this particular vehicle through Creative Bus, they bought a block at the start of the pandemic or maybe shortly after, so they have them. So we should be able to actually get this little vehicle, which is a, I just saw one in town today. It's like a modified low-floor Chrysler minivan. So we should be able to get it within a couple, 3 months, which should be good because the vehicle we use currently for our main bread and butter all-day dial-a-ride vehicle is getting long in the tooth, high in mileage, and the company went out of business, so parts are hard to get. So this will take the heat off of that. It can be used as a spare, and we can use this new van as our main dial-a-ride vehicle. And I put a $75,000 cap on it because we're not done negotiating with the vendor on a few options here, so I didn't want to come in under and then have to explain to finance why we're spending more than you guys approved.
So we have to include
yeah, there's a little
taxes
buffer in there.
and-
Yeah, there's buffer in there.
Registration and all that, yeah.
It should be more like 70 to 72, but I give a little buffer.
The good
Very
news
good.
is we can actually acquire it and there's not a supply problem.
Yeah, yeah, we can see that this winter.
Move to approve this purchase order.
And I will second that.
Any public comment on the purchase of the minivan? Thank you. Let's pull the vote.
Director Roberts? Yes. Director Starkey?
Yes.
Director Short?
Yes.
Chairman Altman?
Yes. Am I going too fast? Are you getting the motions and the seconds okay? All right, let us know if you have any questions. Okay, item 7 is update on RCTA PTM ISEA expenditure plan.
Great. I promised you guys this one at the last meeting, and we're committing a lot of local match to these different projects, so this is a good time for the update. PTM ISEA has been, it was started in 2006. We received allocations each year from like 2007 through 2016. And most of it was banked by my previous general manager, which was good, so it gave us a nest egg to work with. We've been using it and starting to spend it down in the last 2-3 years in 2 silos. Some money for the facility, because we've seen there was a lot of issues around our Williams Drive facility as it started to age in place. And then the other main silo has been for bus replacement money. So from the bus replacement money, in 2016, we had such a fleet emergency that we just bought 4 vehicles with 100% PTMI-SEA, unleveraged, I should say, or I would call that. But other than that, we've tried, and that was due to the fleet was in disarray and we were at risk of not providing service reliably. But once we got through that, we've used it as a local match for everything else. So 10% here, 20% here, 50% in the worst case scenario. So it's began spending down. We're down to about 428,000 balance currently, but that's the balance in our account. Some of that's already encumbered with these grants that we've got queued up due to the bus production crisis in this country. So our current facilities, the silo that's separated, I mean, and it's not really a hard silo. This is one case where the Caltrans staff is very flexible and they'll work with you. So if we did want to move money between the two, it's really easy. It's a bureaucratic process, but it's not too bad. But anyway, our current facilities balance is 57,000 and the bus replacements is 428. So we got a little less than $500,000 left of this allocation because we've been able to also earn interest and keep the interest over the years. So when we banked it, we're actually getting quite a bit of interest there for a while, which has helped stretch the dollar. Anyway, so the projects that we're committed to, or that we, as of today, we committed 2 more, which is the LED lighting upgrade project that we approved today, and then the installation of the generator we bought today. So we approved the purchase of the generator today because that's under the gun. The grant had to be expended by the end of the year. The actual installation will probably come early in the new year, and it's going to cost like 56 more. So it's more than the generator itself. But anyway, so that'll come out of this, and that should expend all the money that's on the facility side of PTMI-SEA. Easy for me to say. On the bus replacement side, we kind of went through all the grants that we have. So of the 428 that's currently showing in the general ledger balance, most of that's already committed. So we only have like 73,000, 72,000 that's unencumbered, not committed to a current grant that's in the tunnel, I like to call it. So it's some of them we already ordered. So if you look at the 5 bullets here under the encumbered list, the first, as of today, we just ordered the minivan. So the first 3 are all ordered. So that's 3 buses and 1 minivan. So those are ordered, and it's just a matter of being produced and delivered, then we pay. So we pay at the time of delivery. Then the next, even the 4th bullet's already encumbered. The SC soft validators have arrived. They just haven't been installed yet. That's our credit card readers for the contactless fares project. So that'll actually get paid probably before the other 3 because they did arrive. I'm going to have to pay that invoice soon. And then the 5th bullet's a little more convoluted. We had a grant. We tried to do an RFP to rehabilitate a couple of our old buses, and nobody bid on it. And pretty much they didn't bid on it because the chassis of, the environment's been too tough on it. It's taken too long to get the money. It took Caltrans a couple of years to give it to us. So anyway, that project, we're going to try to decommit that 82 and apply it to a new bus. So that's kind of up in the air. But for now, I'm going to count it as a commitment because it still is. So with the remaining 72,000 or so, that'll be basically committed with 1 or 2 of the next grants that are in the tunnel but not quite awarded by a standard agreement. We had a call this morning, and there's 1 grant for sure, and the standard agreement is available now. We just didn't order off it yet. And then there's 2 more that we're going to get buses from. So it should be no problem. What we need to do in order to not lose this money is encumber it by the end of June, so that we're in good shape to do that. It kind of shines like down the road further, we're going to have the problem of finding local match because the PTMI-SEA will be gone. But we're not going to have any problem meeting our expenditure and losing any of it. I mean, our deadline and losing any of it. So that's the good news. The bad news is it's going away and it needs to be replaced, and it hasn't. So I'll take questions on that. But basically, this was to assure you guys we have a plan. We will get it spent before the sunset, and they won't take it away from us.
As long as we all know you're spending money as fast as you can, Joe.
Like a drunken sailor.
Yeah. What a relief.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glad I didn't let you down there.
Any questions from the board before I move on? Okay, item 8 is update on development approach, timelines, and funding plan for Front Street Transit Hub, which I think we've spent a lot of time on already this evening.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. Thank you guys for the great conversation on that. I'm glad we're going to carry on to another discussion because it's such an important strategic decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I can say personally that I was very distracted by the second site for CUP. We already decided in April.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Short.
Always happy to complicate things.
All right, item 9, well, I guess I should ask, is there any public comment? None at all, thank you. Item 9 is update on procurement process for RCTA legal counsel services.
This will be brief. The good news is, so we talked about that about 5 weeks ago at our last meeting, or 6 weeks, whatever it was. So subsequent to that, I was talking to Tamara, and the commission's also interested in sharing this procurement and finding a shared legal counsel for both the Transportation Commission and ourselves. So that's great. So we are going to, I don't know how the January 3rd thing will play into it, but for sure by the February 27th meeting, we'll probably have proposals and award for you guys. So we're going to do an RFP this month, probably get it out before the holidays, and then, give them into January. So the hope is by the late February meeting, we would have an award recommendation for the board to approve. After a full RFP, and we'll do Tamara's contact list, the folks that proposed on us a couple months ago, and anyone else that's interested. So we'll advertise and do it right, and I apologize for last meeting, trying to hurry up and secure somebody. Probably wasn't the best idea.
Okay, thank you. Any public comment on item 9? Anything from the board? Okay, item 10 is management report. It's
been a long meeting. I don't think I have too much to add at this point. Let's see. Fernando's not here to give the first transit report today. He's feeling under the weather, so he sends his regards. I think as far as our projects go, ridership has been pretty good this fall, so it's continues to build back a little, which is really reassuring. At our February meeting, we will need to have an award for engineering services to do the electrical upgrade design at our Williams Drive facility, because that's money that's on a short fuse from the commission. So we need to spend that before June 23rd of 23. So we'll need to get that started. That's to do the calculations on how much power we need for our maximum scenario of electric bus chargers on the lot, which could be like 10 or 12 chargers potentially. So anyway, so that's coming up on our future meetings, and it looks like we'll see you, in early January, so sooner than we thought.
What was that, January 3rd?
Yeah, 3rd.
Okay. Okay, any questions? Public comment? Thank you. Announcements. Does the board have any announcements?
I'll just say that Supervisor Maston was no longer the supervisor, but Supervisor Wilson was sworn in yesterday. But I'll be the alternate until we have new committees,
Okay.
which is the second meeting in January.
Oh, okay.
So you're stuck with me until then.
Who do we write a letter to keep you?
Yeah.
That's the more like the question. How do we influence that decision? Thank you for being here, Valerie.
Of course.
And a similar topic is we're short one on the council, and Blake Inscore is the alternate currently, but we also are waiting to, until we appoint someone for the vacant spot, to get all the commissions and boards and everything populated. And with that said, what is the anniversary date to choose a new chairman for RCTA?
That was going to be on it was on the advanced agenda for February 27.
let's shoot for that then,
Yeah.
and hopefully everyone's got their board and
By the
members
first
and
of the
everything.
second month of the year, usually the committee assignments have been made by the city and the county. And
Good.
even though it didn't work this last year for some reason, but we were a little bit late, but yeah, it worked out pretty good.
Any further
But we were late
announcements?
to elect Ray to the chairman position, so.
I didn't mind at all.
No,
It's a good experience. Okay. If there are not any further announcements, then I adjourn this meeting to the next RCTA board meeting, which will be on January 3rd at 4:30? Are we doing a joint? And then-
Yeah, let's say 4:30 for now, but, yeah, we'll work with Eric to confirm that, yeah. That
Okay.
could change, yeah.
Tentatively.
Tentative.
Thank you.